Another death at Maritime Steel and Foundries has put safety in the workplace back in the spotlight. Nova Scotia's Workers' Compensation Board has been trying for years to improve workers' safety. But is it working? Nancy MacCready-Williams is with the Workers' Compensation Board in this province. And first of all, I might begin with your reaction to the death of another Nova Scotian worker at Maritime Steel.
Tom, I think it's a tragic reminder of how big an issue workplace injury is in this province. This is the second fatality we've seen in a week, and it's just a tragic reminder about how many people are getting injured in this province and the risk of a fatality taking place.
Well, what do you say to people who ask the question, is Nova Scotia a safer place to work in right now?
Well, I'll just share some stats with you, Tom. We have, on average, around 30,000 people in this province getting injured every year, and on average, around 8,000 of those people are unable to go back to work the next day, unable to go home to their family at the end of the day. So it's what we're talking about is an injury every 15 minutes. 365 days of the year. That's what's happening in this province. Now, there are some glimmers of hope in what we see as an epidemic of workplace injury. The trends so far show that the number of serious injuries in this province are going to be down significantly by year end, lower levels than we've seen in a decade. So there's progress being made. But when you hear what's happened in terms of a fatality, you're just constantly reminded of the tragedy that happens on a regular basis in workplaces across this province.
But you folks spend a lot of time and a lot of money trying to get the message out to work safe. And when you do look at those numbers of claims, it's pretty much been the same for the last 3 or 4 years. Is the message getting out? Is it the right message?
You know, I think the message is being heard, and we survey the population in Nova Scotia. We ask questions about whether people think that getting injured on the job is inevitable. It's just part of going to work every day, and I'm pleased to say that those numbers are going down. The percentage of Nova Scotians who believe workplace injury is inevitable is decreasing. That's a positive message. But what we're talking about the need for here is a workplace safety culture in this province. A workplace safety culture where it's everybody's responsibility to keep their workplace safe so that colleagues can go home to their families safe at the end of the day. That is a culture change that needs to take place, and there are best practice leaders across the province, workplaces that are doing this day in and day out, and there are others that need our help. And so, yes, loud and clear, the message is getting out there and it's being heard. And we're starting to see progress in terms of reduction in the number of serious injuries. But when fatalities happens, again, constantly reminded about possible tragedies that can happen.
Ms. MacCready-Williams, thanks for talking to us about this.
You're welcome, Tom.
And let's get your point of view now. What needs to be done to make Nova Scotia workplaces safer? Call us toll-free, 866